guys, welcome to PC Tips Pro. This is Shrija over here and welcome to Python for Beginners. In the previous videos we have seen some code, and now before going into loops, let's get see with the basics of the Python as we have discussed brief in the first videos, but now let's go into depth to get a better understanding of programming languages and their terminologies. So let's get started. So today's topics are constants. We will see what constants are and their examples. And then our next topic is reserved words. As we have already seen these as keywords, we will go somehow deep depth into this. And next topic is variables. And in this variable section, we will discuss about the definition of the variables and rules for assigning a particular variable when you are taking in any code, when you're assigning any value to it. So let's get started without any delay. So here you go guys with the topic constants. As we have already discussed about the basics of programming in the first couple of videos, so now I just go, let's get deeper into this and understand better of the programming. And before starting the loops, I just suggest you to go through these videos because these are the pillars of the basic programming is the pillars of everything which you do. With these you can just go through the loops and you can just do anything with the code. You can play with the code. So let's get started without any delay. So the constants are some things which you already know from your childhood, like 1 2 3. These are constants, like constants are, they just have the fixed values and they have fixed meanings. So constant is something, as a name suggests you, that never changes. So to be a simple in the programming language, to be simple in this, we can say that it is an opposite to variables, right? Variables we can change them according to our wish, but constants we cannot change them because they have their own fixed values, such as numbers, letters, and strings. Strings, you might not be very familiar with it if you don't have a good programming background, but yet we'll be discussing about the strings in the future videos. So stay tuned with the videos. And because the value doesn't change, these numbers, letters, and strings, numeric constants are as you expect, like 1 to 3, as I have already told you, and also decimals, everything which have their fixed value is the constant. um, and string constants use a single quote or double quotes, but for your brief information, I'm telling you that the strings are the combination of characters. They are just a group of characters that makes a word. If you think the character is a letter, as I have already told you, but still, if the character is a letter, if you think, then the group of characters is the string. So you can see example over here. We will just do this in the practical sessions also, but for now, let's have a look at it. Here you have the print 1 2 3, whereas 1 2 3, that is 123, is a number. It's a constant fixed value, so if you want to print it directly, it gets prints over here. And if you want to print a 98.6, it is a decimal, and for your remembrance, it is a float value, 98.6, right? But actually we use data types for variables. For your good remembrance, I'm just coordinating with this. And print hello world. So here you can see that this string, this is known as string. It is a group of characters. This is enclosed by a single quotes, or you can also do with the double quotes. So you just got printed hello world. So this is what the constants topic is. So let's get to the next topic, reserved words. I have already introduced this term in the last video, known as reserved words, also known as keywords. These keywords, which we cannot use them in the variable names. We will discuss the variable topic in the coming next few topics. In that, we will be having some rules for taking a variable names. As I've already told you that variables is something we can just take some or the other name and we can just take it as a variable, some word. But for taking that word into consideration, also we have some rules which we have to take aside, and after just leaving them aside we can take any other thing. So we will discuss the rules in the next coming topics. For now you can see the reserved words over here. Reserved words are also known as keywords or also known as identifiers. So you can have a look at it, and if you want you can have a note of it. But I have told you in the first videos that you don't need to remember these things, because as you practice over and over, time to time, you just get practice of it. Instead of remembering it, practicing it gives you more practical experience with those keywords than really remembering it. So I'll just tell you this: a false, class, return, and some of these are used in the object oriented programming for defining objects, class, and return in functions. Is finally none if for lambda, continue, true, def, from, while, non-local, and tell, global, not, with, as, elif, try, or, yield, assert, else, import, pass, break, accept, in, raise. So these are the reserved words. So let's get into the next topic. So here are the variables topic. As I have told you that the variables will be discussing, and will be discussing the rules for taking the variables. First of all, as I told you what is a variables in the previous videos, but I am repeating it now to get a better understanding and deeper understanding of the programming. So a variable is a name placed in the memory. In the memory, we just allocate some space with the name of a variable which we are taking. For example, if you take a variable named x, if you take a variable named x and if you assign some memory, that memory, in the memory, that allocation is named as x. So that is a place where the programmer can store data and later retrieve it, because you can just store it, and if you want again it will be there still. So you can retrieve it again using the variable name. So programmers get to choose the names of variables. We can choose them, but for choosing them we have some certain rules we need to follow. So you can change the contents of variable in later statements. Yeah, of course. Like if you have some variable name over in the first, if you have a code of 4-line code, and you just assign the variable in the first line and again assign with the other value in the third line, the third line will be considered. You can just change the values, you can retrieve the data. Variables are such a useful thing, and really they are in the every programming language. You need to have a good knowledge and working of the variables. You need to know them for any programming language. So as you can see over here, you are just telling that x is equals to 12.2 doesn't mean that x is 12.2. That means that in the memory location you are allocating a space, some space known as x, which is assigned. This equal to sign in the programming language is known as assigned assignment operator, which we will also discuss deeper in the next coming videos. So this x equals to 12.2 means that it is assigned with the value 12.2. So in space x we just see, as you can see over here, this is space x. So in this x we are keeping 12.2. Okay, so in as well as we just assigned y equal to 14, so in this space we are allocating y equal to 14. So that's it, what the concept is. So as you practice more and more you get the experience of it. uh, so Python variable name rules, as I've told you that we'll be discussing the rules for taking a variable. As a programmer we can take any variables, but with some exceptions, so we will discuss that exceptions here. So the first exception is must start with a letter or underscore. So it should be starting with a letter, alphabetical letter or underscore. So it should not be starting with numbers or at the rates or any special symbols like a dollar sign, hashtag, dots, anything should not be started with that, and must consist of letters, numbers, and underscores. And it's a case sensitive one. So case sensitive is like capitals and small letters make a difference. So uh, you can see over here what is the good variable name and what is the bad variable name, and which is different from these two. A good variable name is something which starts with a letter, or after the letter you can go with the numbers, it is quite okay. But if you can also start with underscore and you can go with the letters, it is also okay. And uh, x, this is also a good example of variable. Next, what is the bad example of variables? 2 3 spam. This is where the first starting letters are the numbers, and you can see the next example over here, hashtag sign, that is also a starting with a special character, so that is also not a relevant one. And var dot 12 means that it doesn't it is containing the extra things like, see, letters, numbers, and underscores are only things which we need in the variable name, not other than them. We should not use any special characters anymore. So here a dot is used which is a special character, so that is completely rejected. And the different ones are, as I have already told you, that it is a case sensitive. This is different from this because s is capital over here, and these two are different from this because four letters here are the capitals. So this is what the Python variable name rules are. So you every each and every programmer need to follow these rules for choosing a correct and appropriate variable. I hope you like this video and found this useful. Thank you for watching.